failings with Star Wars continues to come out. Now we have Daisy Ridley talking about something, confirming something, in my opinion, that we have talked for, 8 months now or so? Whenever the last Star Wars movie, Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Palpatine, came out. It's been more and more clear that Disney did not know what they were doing with Star Wars and with the characters. Now with John Boyega coming out and saying he felt like a set piece, basically, a marketing tool, and then pushed aside because they didn't have a plan for his character. All they cared about was Daisy and Adam. But now Daisy's coming out now and saying that they didn't really have a plan for her either. It switched many times. And this goes against this narrative that's been created by JJ and Kathleen, saying that, yes, they had this whole thing planned out. Palpatine was in it from the beginning. They knew where they were going. The roadmap was clear. No, not so much. Not so much. Okay, so this is coming from Daisy's own mouth here. This is hail to Price of Reason, by the way. I saw this on Twitter, and it's definitely been making the rounds here. So this is Daisy on being interviewed with Josh Gad, I believe his name is, and let's just hear what she has to say here about the plan they had for her character and her heritage, Rey's heritage.
Have you been keeping Rey's secret from the beginning? Did you know about the parentage? Tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. At the beginning, there was toying with like an Obi-Wan connection, and then it really went. There were like different versions, and then it really went to that she was no one. And then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, "Oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy," and I was like, "Awesome." And then 2 weeks later, he was like, "Oh, we're not sure." So it kept changing. So then even I was filming, and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
So there you have her from her own lips. It was originally Obi-Wan. It was a Kenobi connection, which that's pretty clear. That's where they were headed, because you had Obi-Wan. Why bring Ewan McGregor in for that Force flashbacks? That the Force, the vision scene where she touches Anakin and Luke's lightsaber, the Skywalker saber. Why have Obi-Wan's voice in there? It wouldn't make sense otherwise. Why have Ewan McGregor come in? Why use Alec Guinness? Why have him say, "Rey, these are your first steps"? It was clear they were trying to build this connection to Obi-Wan. And then Rian Johnson comes in, screws everything up, even though they like to say that's not the case. It all fits perfectly together. No, he screwed everything up, and she was supposed to be a nobody. And that's where, Daisy says, and then she was a nobody. And then episode 9 comes, and JJ pitches this idea. Hey, now you're a Palpatine. Oh, no, maybe not. Now you're not anymore. Even then, it was wishy-washy back and forth. Just a lack of direction. We have been saying this from the get-go, but we've been called names because we've said this stuff. We've been called, everything. Sexist, bigots, whatever you want it, you name it. You call it. We've been called it. All because we had said this was not planned out. This is bad writing. It wasn't the characters did not come first. The story did not come first over the agendas they were trying to push. And now that John Boyega has come out and said as much about his character Finn, Daisy's coming out and saying, yeah, they didn't know what they were doing. It was changing back and forth. And I get it. Movies change. Scripts change. I get it. But don't come out and try to, don't defend saying, no, we had it all from the get-go. Yeah, it was all planned really well. And you guys are just ists and isms and whatever because you didn't like it. You're calling us out on. Also, here is a quote from JJ here. This was from, I believe, this is from Collider's site here, March 19th, 2020. So kind of right at the beginning of this whole shutdown here. And he's talking about the parentage of Rey. And he's asked, was this something you planned, or was this the direction you wanted to head in? And he says here, so why Abrams explained his decision at the Academy screening of Rise of Skywalker last week, noting that Your Nobody wasn't quite devastating enough for his taste. So there you have, again, JJ admitting that this was not part of the plan. She was not always supposed to be a Palpatine. Palpatine was probably not even around at any point in the first two scripts or the first two movies. The idea of Palpatine returning was not even part of the conversation until Rian Johnson kills off Snoke very quickly in the second movie, and now all of a sudden they need a big bad because they don't have one. So, hey, bring back Palpatine, and sure, now raise a Palpatine, because he says here, I think one of the themes of the movie is that anyone can be anything regardless of where you're from. And I don't know if it resonates for everyone, but I think there are quite a few people who appreciate that idea of not coming from a place that you're not particularly excited about following or proud of. And though I completely understand you're nobody is a devastating thing, to me, the more painful, the more shocking thing, the more poorly executed thing, was the idea that you're from the worst possible place, a Palpatine. And that is the thing that you feel, that you know is a part of you somehow, that you're haunted by this. Is that your destiny? And the idea that there are things more powerful than blood, as Luke says, that thing was a really important thing for us to convey. Even though the original trilogy, it's all about the blood. Luke saves Vader because he's his father, because he's his blood. But, you know, now it's like, well, it doesn't matter. Family's not important. So, yeah, it's just more convincing evidence that Disney just did not have these movies planned out. The characters weren't planned. The story didn't come first. The character arcs didn't come first. In the case of John Boyega and Finn, they were trying to. He really had the best potential out of the whole cast, and see what happened to him. Nothing, because they didn't really know what to do with him. They set him up, but they didn't really want him to be a hero, so they just put him in the background and had him run around and yell "rail," every 10 minutes in the movies. I bet his script, when they gave him his sides, he's got his lines. It's probably just Ray, 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 Ray. Not a lot of memorization of lines there. He has an easy time with these movies. Anyway, all right, so that's it. I just it's. Daisy's coming out now and saying this. I really would like Luke with Mark Hamill. I'd really like him to come out and start being on a little more honest, because he's definitely hinted throughout the years of his displeasure with these movies. But now, time has passed. I think it's safe for him to come out and really give us his view of specifically The Last Jedi, but the whole trilogy in general. It'd be interesting to hear, and I would not doubt if that might happen. Oscar Isaacs, he could be up. He's also kind of given little hints here and there, but nothing as outright as what John Boyega said. And then definitely, now Daisy, not really intentionally saying it was bad, but just kind of giving the truth. She's smiling when she's saying it. Maybe it's kind of underneath her, her breath. She's kind of smiling. Yes, it is really ridiculous, isn't it? It is really silly. These movies really do suck. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching the video. Do give it a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. Until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.